The Quest 3 has been out for a while now. It's been almost 3 months since this headset was launched. We're going to be using it for a bit of work, a bit of play, but there are still some issues that need to be addressed. Now, I went for the cheapest and most basic model. This is like the smaller model with the basic head strap on it. Honestly, I never really find any reason to upgrade. Even the extra storage space, I've never found a reason to use that, and I've just never had any problems. So using the LiDAR scanner, there's a camera right in the middle of here. You can actually scan your entire space in just by looking around. It's really, really cool. The only problems I've had though is when moving between spaces. So if you move between like this space and like a different room in your house, it hasn't been able to remember which spaces you're in. So you can only really use this in one room. There's an update coming which will actually basically upload your room scan into the cloud. It will then know based on your location where you are, and it will download that room scan and like the whole kind of all the clever stuff that it's doing from the cloud, which will be awesome because then I can move this between the studio and the home and not have to rescan the room in every time. So I've just connected up my Mac and just so I can get on straight on with some work. And I currently have one virtual screen in front of me, which is like, I don't know, it's a gigantic screen, but everything is super clear. I can actually have 3 screens in front of me. Look at all of my screens. But what I will say is the improved like color pass through is really, really good. Obviously it's not like thoroughly accurate and it's not the same as like not wearing a headset. I can basically see everything in the real color that it is around me. The only thing is like when trying to read screens, you can't really like read a screen, particularly if you want to like check your messages on your mobile phone and like just reply to someone quickly. I can see the time, I can see the photo, I can just about make out that Chris has texted me, but I very much doubt I can read his message. Perfect. Can you let Hudson know that Tuesday filming day? So you can kind of read it. I can't read all of it. One thing that this does allow me to do, that's your glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is I can actually use the pass-through mode to like very easily walk through. It's a bit warped around the edges, but I can still like genuinely, I think, get it in the, yep, it's going in the glass. I can still genuinely like go and like walk around the house and do things and make yourself a drink. Can you drink it? Okay. Just about. But it's not perfect, but it's good enough for what a lot of people want, which is just to walk around and do normal things. Although you wouldn't really answer the door with a headset because I'm sure to you this looks like stupid. But I can see my screen and my screen stays over there. So if I'm walking around, my like virtual laptop screen is still like over there still, which is awesome. It's just, is my hand tracking working yet? Oh, my hand, kind of, there we go. Hand tracking is now working so I can walk around. Oh, that's cool. So if I go, I've seen this before. I can go into the kitchen, he says, carrying my screen. Oh no, I've lost it. My screen's gone, hang on. No, I've got it, I've grabbed it. And walk into the, no, he says that he's lost it again. Walk into the kitchen with my screen and I can watch a TV show whilst I'm doing the washing up or something. Very cool, as long as the hand tracking, he says, is now he can't grab it. Come on. Come on. There we go, now I've got it. And I'm gonna bring my screen back to my living room. I'll make it lose it. Yep. Yeah, this doesn't look stupid at all. There we go, got it. Nope, he's lost it again. So this is what I mean, the hand tracking really isn't the best. Honestly, like, I don't understand how it can lose it so easily, especially when I'm blatantly waving my hands around in front of the thing. Like, you can see it's tracking my hands now because it's bringing up all sorts of things around my hand. There you go, there's like a virtual hand now. Yeah, but I can now resume my work. And now I'm back in my office. Okay, so picking up the Quest 3 after using the Quest 1, 2, and the Quest Pro, there are 3 things that instantly hit me. Now, number 1, the image quality and clarity is incredible. It's so much better. Number 2, hand tracking to position windows as if they were real. They have kind of nailed the whole spatial awareness where you can just literally pick this screen up and move it around. Problem is, their hand tracking is still atrociously bad on these Quest headsets. I don't know what they're doing, but they should be far, far better than they are right now. It should be able to identify that I've put my controllers down and they're like below me and like not dangling my arms around like I'm still holding the controllers. It just shouldn't happen now. And then number 3, what the hell is my keyboard doing in these screen recordings of me sat at a desk trying to work. And after just around about like an hour of working, I definitely feel fatigued with wearing this like thing on my head already. Now this is just the basic strap, but I would definitely recommend going for either the Elite strap or actually finding a good third-party one if you intend on wearing this for a very long time, particularly as the strap on this headset flattens my mohawk, so that's a very, very bad decision. Okay, let's talk productivity now. As one of the big reasons I keep trying like the latest virtual or augmented reality products like the Quest 3 is the possibility of using it in just like day-to-day working, which in itself could provide a huge range of benefits, like being able to see and use a huge, like large display when you're working from anywhere, rather than spending thousands on like large or ultra-wide monitors.
134 inches in terms of like screen size. So yeah, if you want a massive cinema screen in your living room to play games on, that is quite cool.
And it brings us one step closer to this, always connected world where augmented reality becomes part of our daily routine. So there are two ways I've been using the Quest to work, or rather two apps, and they both serve a different purpose, and both are good and bad for different reasons. Now, the first is using Meta's own app where you can sit in your virtual office and work on 1, 2, or 3 virtual screens. And by tapping on the side of the headset, you can change from being in 100% virtual reality to being in this mixed reality world where you can see and interact with your actual space, but also still see your work screens. And it does work great. I think the biggest question I get asked about this is how bad is the graphics quality on the virtual screens? And honestly, the answer is really, really good. Honestly, I had to get up very, very close to try and start pixel peeping. I generally just don't have any problems with what I'm seeing. Now, of course, if you're someone who does like to pixel peep, then I'm sure you're gonna find like something here to pick at and say that it's no good. But for the most part, and for most people, you can clearly read everything, you can see everything, there's no squinting, the text isn't fuzzy or anything like that. Now, where Meta's own app goes from here though, is that when you bring it into a virtual meeting and you can change like the layout of the room to be more of a classroom based or more of a traditional like meeting room layout. And now you can chat between yourselves with like other people with this full spatial audio, so you know exactly where each person is sat, just as if you were sat there in like a real meeting space. Now, other than the fact that, of course, that everyone looks like a cartoon, you can also go up to the whiteboard and like write or draw things. Now, we genuinely did this for the working in VR video we posted with the Quest 2, which was like 8 months ago or so. It was actually legitimately really useful to do this to plan out a video rather than kind of what I thought it would be, which was just like a bit of a gimmick when it really, really comes down to it that isn't that useful. And if other users don't have a Quest headset that they can, join in on, then others can hop in via a video link and appear in this like floating window, but they still keep the spatial audio, which actually makes you instinctively look towards the person who's talking because that's the direction that their voice is coming, just like in real life. So that is Meta's own attempt, and it is a good start, but it's quite a lonely attempt. You either sit in a room by yourself or you start a meeting and have people join the meeting. But there is an app that fixes the problems of Meta's own app. And before that, whether you're at home or you're at work, one of the problems I'm struggling with right now is trying to monitor everything on my network to know if the kids have switched something off, or if there's internet connectivity issues, or if the Wi-Fi is down, which is more often the case. And if you have a business, well, that's even more of a very expensive tip of a very expensive iceberg. Gary's kind of dying in the sofa over there. Poor Gary, geeky Gary. Well, that is where Pulseway comes in handy. Using Pulseway, you can monitor devices across your network and even have automatic remediation if there are any problems detected. There are integrations with popular services such as Zendesk and Slack.
And there is even a fully featured mobile client that allows you to remotely control devices. This looks really weird. Wow, my hand is see-through. My phone is see-through, apparently. Let's resume.
A mobile app that allows you to manage all of this just from your phone, and it gives you access to monitor and manage and remotely control devices from pretty much anywhere in the world. So if you're an IT professional or a business and want to give this a try for free, click the link down below to give it a try. And lastly, a huge thank you to Pulseway for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. So the other app that grows on me the more and more I use it is called Immersed. And I've said this in a few of my videos now, but this is what I like to call the Starbucks of virtual working. Now, first of all, you can now have a screen of literally any size that you want in any resolution that you want, and you can have as many of them as you want. So you can even make them curved if you really want to. So if you're like me, you maybe prefer just one single ultra wide, you can do that. But where Immersed really solidifies its place for me is when you join one of their public areas. Now you can actually sit in this public space as if you were in a Starbucks and get on with your work, but also being amongst other people. That means you can overhear their conversations, you can even swap seats and join in on conversations. And Immerse has controls built into your hand, so you can kind of like D&D yourself so you're not interrupted. You can also change your screens to a smaller screen that you can look over when you're speaking to people, so that's not kind of distracting. I've also met the app's own developers whilst in these rooms. I've even met people who are just shopping online but just wanted to be in this like social space whilst doing it. Now, to some people, this might sound weird or creepy, or perhaps the first sign of mankind's downfall. But to many people, where recent events have, kickstarted this whole working from home thing, but who miss the hustle and bustle of like real people, this is actually a really interesting way to stay connected and meet new people even. Now, where Immersed still falls down a little for me though is some of the basic areas. Now, the screen quality, for me at least, isn't as good as Meta's own app, though you are given plenty of options to tweak and fine tune it if you want to. And the hand tracking, as I've mentioned already, at times can be very questionable. Now, of course, that probably comes down to Meta's, I guess, lack of implementation for hand tracking. It's just really not the best. But the one significant downfall of using the Quest for work purposes are, well, that one, it's big and heavy, that can be quite fatiguing if you're using it for long periods of time. No, it's not bad, and it is getting better every year, but it is not yet like wearing a pair of glasses. Not yet. And also, to that point, this big white headset, not really the kind of thing you carry around with you and wear in the middle of, an actual Starbucks, but. Immersed is actually coming out with its own product called Visor in early 2024, which does look like somewhat a regular pair of sunglasses. And it's a lot lighter as well. Now, I've no more information on this other than what's shown online as of yet, but I'm hoping to get my hands on a pre-release model soon so I can test this out for you. So subscribe if you want to see more about that. Now, what about gaming and entertainment on the Quest 3 though? Okay, so Xbox's wireless kind of cloud gaming thing just launched yesterday on the Quest 3 headset. So now we're going to give this a try and just see how well it actually performs. So I've got a Bluetooth Xbox controller connected wirelessly through Bluetooth to my headset, and I have this gigantic screen in front of me. Why spend a lot of money on this TV when you could be sitting back and just chill out and have this like 100, I don't know what that is, but measuring my virtual screen that you can't see.
134 inches.
So we have a 111-inch virtual screen for the cost of a Quest headset. So let's just see if this is any good. So first of all, graphics-wise, no, I'd say it looks 1080p because I think the screen's just too big as well. I mean, it looks impressive. The only thing is the controls, I think, there's definitely some delay going on with the controls there, which might be interesting if we actually come up against somebody. So there's a bit of lag in the screen. Definitely there's some lag in the screen. Straight away, this isn't as good as having a TV. Okay, I'll just say that. But like I said, this is brilliant if you can take it around with you. It gives you a huge screen for like no cost, which is quite nice. So first-person shooter games, probably not the best thing. Racing games, probably not the best thing. Things that require quite quick reflexes, probably not going to be the best thing on here. This is either going to be awesome or this is going to be a very, very, very quick game. Okay, this is not good. Is it a real person? It's a real person, yeah. Oh, there's a boss. Of course there's a boss here, and I've just swapped guns with the boss. I'm really struggling to keep up with... okay, I'm dead. Yeah, mixed feelings about this. It is good because it has a huge screen. I wouldn't quite call it a gimmick. I think it definitely has its place. It's definitely useful as long as you're not playing, like I said, like games that really require your input controls to be very, very fast. Oh, hang on. Whoa. You can change how big the screen is. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, take measure time. Pass the thing out there. There you go, got it. Okay. And then base it down to where the camera is, on the bottom end of the camera. Roughly speaking, it is 77 inches. So the small setting is 77 inches. So the medium size is 93 inches. Okay, so the large size is 114 inches, and the extra large size, oh my god, the extra large size is 134 inches in terms of like screen size. So yeah, if you want a massive cinema screen in your living room to play games on, that is quite cool, apart from the fact that the graphics quality isn't the best and the like input lag is quite bad. But let's try Forza Horizon. So we're now playing on the XL screen. I don't think do the graphics change when... I mean, it's seamless to be able to switch between the size of it. I guess it just stretches the image. which is very, very cool. I don't know if, hopefully you can see this in recording. So if I get up close, then yeah, obviously it's starts getting a bit pixelated. But when you're sat far away from back here, it does look very, very good. But yeah, again, if I get close, then you can start, okay. That's about how close you can get to the screen. So that's like, it feels like that's a foot away or so. So you can start like really pixel peeping, but if you sit back at the normal, so kind of sofa distance, pretty cool. Yeah, it does feel very skittish when playing this. Graphics look great. I mean, the fact is, you have to look around to see everything because the screen's so large. But there's a lot of, is it screen tear? Oh my God, this is like uncontrollable. But there's definitely lag. Like if you see the controller, I'm turning it. Right, actually, can you see? There we go. Okay. Yeah, unplayable for those kind of games. Accuracy is much better on this than the last one. Doesn't lose tracking as much as the last one. Although not as good as the Quest Pro. Oh my God, this is a lot. Oh, okay, well that's difficult. Done. So I saw there were some optional hand straps you can get for these controllers. 1000% I'd recommend getting those. So even if you like momentarily forget to hold onto your controllers in a moment of stupidity, your TV will be safe, so will your wife and kids. That wouldn't be good. Now watching content on this headset in general, it's okay. Like, I mean, it's definitely an improvement in the other headsets I've worn. The picture, the audio quality is also pretty good, like way good enough to be able to actually enjoy the content. Now I have seen people who have been like washing dishes whilst watching a movie or something like that whilst wearing the headset, and it is sort of okay to do this, but it does still mean that you're wearing a fairly bulky headset. And if anyone else walks in on you in the middle of washing dishes and you kind of got wet hands, that's not going to be a very comfortable conversation when they can't see your face and you're just wearing this, just white mask on your face. Now that is something that Apple's Vision headset seems to have addressed with this fake eyes or kind of camera filming your eyes that then produces it on the screen on the outside. So I'm not quite sure what that will look like in reality. Now I think the Apple Vision is probably actually the most excited I've been for a piece of tech for a very, very long time. Certainly gonna be trying it out next year if I can. Apple just has a history of taking existing products, like VR, like mobile phones, like tablets, and just turning them into something much, much more. Again, you've got the iPhone, the Apple Watch, the iPads. Even though they are technically slower to adopt newer technology, they are always at the forefront when it comes to innovation. So it's going to be interesting to see what Apple's first generation headset is like when the likes of Meta have been doing it for literally years already. Now, one area that we all know Apple can't really compete with, well, not just yet anyway, is gaming. And my God, playing Half-Life Alyx on the Quest 3 via Steam Link is incredible.
That scared me. Oh, here we go. Reload. Oh, reload. No.
Like Half-Life has always been one of my favorite games from way back when. So to experience Half-Life in VR, in pitch black rooms where you can hear the face huggers like scuttling around your feet, where you've only got a torch and a pistol, and whilst also trying to avoid those long tongue things dangling from the ceiling, horrifyingly exciting.
These are disgusting. Like, look at that. Honestly, like, really?
And I know this word gets used, far too often, but if you want to test how immersive something is.
But this is like, honestly, like the graphics in this game, the detail on the hands, on the gloves, on the fingers, like look at that. It's just insane.
Try playing this game. It is freaking scary at the best of times. What can be improved? Well, still the overall size and weight of the headset is just too much. Like it's big, it's bulky, and whilst it is comfortable for short times when you're playing games and things, it's not like you could walk around, all day wearing one of these. We're kind of on this road right now where the Meta glasses and the Meta Quest are getting closer and closer to each other until we hope to reach this, equilibrium where they become one product, which looks like a regular pair of glasses, but performs like a Quest headset. And speaking of which, the pass-through image clarity still needs some work. It's way, way better. Like it's getting better with every iteration. I'm really pleased to see that this time we get full color pass-through, and it is pretty good when looking from a distance, but when trying to read things up close, like your phone screen or laptop, it kind of works. It's just not really that possible. The clarity isn't there. And as with everything right now, as we're doing right now, battery life just isn't good. Even for a VR headset, like we've been shooting this video for the last hour or so, and the battery's basically dead on it already. Like, it could do with an extra 1 to 2 hours of regular battery life. So I would definitely recommend getting a head strap with like an extended battery to help you play for longer if you want to. Otherwise, this is a solid headset. And if you're considering getting one, I'm sure you will be far from disappointed. Now, a huge thank you to our Patreon subscribers. You can catch the after show right now on Patreon for an extended look at the Quest 3. It's just something we've started up, so I'd love to see you there. Until next time, cheers, bye-bye.